we're here with the boss, the baby boss.
Boom.
Boom. So, do you consider yourself a maximist?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, what's your favorite part about Bitcoin?
Fuck you money, basically. This is the best feature of Bitcoin is to be fuck you money, taking away power from the governments on all kinds of levels, and this is the best feature that Bitcoin has.
And your least favorite feature?
No such thing. Bitcoin is perfect. It's perfect money. That's why I care about it so much. Oh no, the least favorite feature is I don't have enough. Yeah.
Like, what problem does Bitcoin solve?
Fix the money, fix the world, right? So the levels it solves, like issuance, obviously we don't want the controlling power to be able to print money and fund themselves. It solves human action, like human incentives, right? For sure, like low time preference is how humans should operate instead of like, let's buy all the Gucci's and tomorrow I won't be able to eat. So all that stuff.
What do you say? Like, do you have an estimate of what Bitcoin will be by the end of the year?
One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin.
Yeah. And last question. What advice would you give a new Bitcoiner or a new person that's joining the cult?
Well, first thing, accept that you're not going to have enough, because I see a lot of people struggling with like, oh my God, I'm so late. That's it. I'm done. No, you're not late. You're still pretty early. Yes, you will never have enough Bitcoin. But one thing that really helped me to like accept that I'm not going to have enough Bitcoin is I'm not planning to use all my Bitcoin. My Bitcoin is for my kids. I'm never selling. I'm going to keep stacking for the rest of my life. And like, once you accept this mentality, you're like, okay, yes, I don't have enough, but you know, my stack is gonna grow, and there's no certain amount of Bitcoin that I need in order to be like, okay, I'm retired now, because I'm not planning to retire in this way.
How did you convert to Bitcoin?
Well, I'm coming from a country. I'm coming from a country where I've seen 2 hyperinflations by the age of 20. So for me, understanding that money system is broken was like, yeah, I know, duh, like I've seen it. So that was a really good lesson, and instead of taking it as like, oh, I was coming from a shitty country, I took it as a lesson and realized that all money systems are broken and we need a better one. So when Bitcoin came along and I actually, dove into learning about it more, I was like, yep, that's what we were looking for. And then on top of it, I had other experiences, such as my cards would get frozen all the time, and like Bitcoin is unconfiscatable. 12 words. Come at me, bro.
Come at me. Bitcoin to the moon. Thank you so much, girl.
Absolutely.
Your talk was amazing. What is your favorite part about Bitcoin?
My favorite part about Bitcoin. Well, big question. I think it's that it's transforming people. Like, people that really study Bitcoin and actually go down the rabbit hole, I don't see anyone that doesn't have a personal transformation. And I think that's the most important thing we need in the world right now. People are screwed up. We have corrupt incentives. We have corrupt people, corrupt characters. So Bitcoin is like a forcing function, getting people to be honest, creative, longer time horizons, all of these things. So it's good. It's like a good medicine for the soul.
I like that. What about your least favorite thing about Bitcoin?
Least favorite thing about Bitcoin, I think right now is that it's so ill understood. I end up answering the same types of questions repeatedly, as a lot of Bitcoiners do. Not yet. These questions are okay so far.
Good. I was like, crap.
People just don't know what's going on. People don't know what gold is. They don't know why it's important. So they don't understand why the disruption of gold is so important. And it's getting better. People are waking up. People are asking good questions. But it's going to take time, I think. So.
What problem would you say that Bitcoin solves?
Well, Bitcoin solves a lot of problems. In a nutshell, I would say that it's incorruptible money, which is a term we like to throw around a little bit. There's a lot to unpack there, but to have an incentive system that mankind cannot corrupt. So I try to talk about it on the stage, but today, every institution that humans have ever made across history, we've also been able to destroy or corrupt or disparage in some way, in a way that people seeking personal short-term gain comes at long-term cost. But with Bitcoin, it's like money or an institution that can't be broken. So it's the first man-made thing that man himself cannot corrupt.
That's true. And last one, what advice would you give new Bitcoiners that are joining the rabbit hole?
My advice to new Bitcoiners is to stay focused on Bitcoin. A lot of people get distracted in the shitcoin jungle, and that can be, you can learn some in that domain, but I think you'll learn more just studying Bitcoin, history of money. And I'll shamelessly plug, what is money? Just tell the new Bitcoiners to keep asking themselves, what is money? And I think that is the rabbit that leads you down the rabbit hole.
Thank you so much.
It's one of those things where people call me a maxi, but I don't even call myself one, but I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a reluctantly accepting the label that has been put on us. But, whatever. Yeah, I guess what I mean by maxi, though, is I think Bitcoin is going to become the money of the world, basically. That's what I think.
Well, do you buy other shitcoins?
No, I've never touched it.
Okay.
No. I'm Bitcoin only from day one for me. I started in 2013, never did any of that shitcoin stuff.
And what's your favorite part about Bitcoin?
Well, for me, it's the freedom. I think it's really just that it's what it enables for the world and what it enables in terms of changing our world to make it a better place. And I genuinely believe that. Of course, the wealth gains are cool too, but I genuinely think it's about the freedom.
And what's your least favorite part about Bitcoin?
I would say sometimes it's the difficulty of conveying that to people, because it can be quite a technical, multifaceted thing, and it's like difficult for people to understand. So that's also something. But obviously, it's professionally my job to teach people Bitcoin things. But that's probably just one of the hard things. At least today, it can be difficult to teach people that.
And who taught you? Like, how did you convert to the world about Bitcoin?
So for me, it was reading some of the early writers in the Bitcoin space. It was people like Tua de Mista, Michael Goldstein, Pierre Rochard, who else? Conrad Graf was an early writer as well. Trace Mayer before he started shitcoining. Eric Voorhees before he started shitcoining. So those were some of my early influences when I was reading and learning about Bitcoin in kind of late 2012, early 2013.
And what problem does Bitcoin help solve?
A lot of things. So saving the ability of transacting under adversarial conditions, people who want to basically transact when they have been shut down from the fiat system. That's obviously a thing where Bitcoin helps. But I think if there was one thing that I was teaching people, it would just be savings technology. So that's my friend Pierre Rochard popularized that, but I would say it's savings technology. It's the main thing.
What advice would you give someone that's coming new to Bitcoin, that's converting, or a new Bitcoiner?
Yeah, I would say spend time understanding the different aspects, right? There's economics, there's technical, and you need a mesh of both. And that's why I focus on that in my podcast as well, so that people can learn about the different elements and aspects of Bitcoin, whether that's the technical elements of the Lightning Network, how privacy works, how to secure your coins, what are the economics of it, what's some of the history of it. And you have to understand the holistic aspect of it before you really appreciate it. And I think one thing just to add there is that sometimes people they sort of dip their toe, but it's really worth your while to actually go deep and actually really study it and learn it.
Stephan Livera.
Yep.